Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today, we're going to discuss my 2022 year-end top 10s continue, as we're going to discuss my number 2 cruiserweight in the world right now at 200 pounds, the former 3-time world champion, Mairis Breidis. Breidis dropped one spot from number 1. He had a 2021 where he just came back and stayed busy. I think he knocked out a guy named Arthur Mann. That was, his first fight since he won the World Boxing Super Series in 2020 and claimed the IBF title. So heading into the year, a lot of people were looking forward to seeing Breidis back in action. And in early July, he was set to make a mandatory defense against undefeated Jai Opetaia. Most people, myself included, felt like Breidis' experience was going to be too much for Opetaia. He'd retain his belt and hopefully attempt to unify titles either later in the year or in 2023. But Jai Opetaia proved to be a much tougher test than expected, as he went out there and cleanly outboxed the veteran champion and top cruiserweight, outboxed him, outclassed him to take the IBF title by a convincing unanimous decision, as Breidis would lose his belt. So tough loss for Mairis Breidis. And afterwards, there was no clear-cut decision on what he was going to do, whether he'd return to cruiserweight, whether he'd move to heavyweight, and we still haven't heard anything. He's now 38 years old. Overall, he's 28-2 with 20 knockouts, and his highest ranking is number 4 by the IBF. So for me, I'm a big fan of Mairis Breidis. I'd love to see him come back, try to avenge that loss. Jai Opetaia likely going to make a mandatory defense against Mateusz Masternak next. If for some reason the IBF grants an optional defense for Opetaia, I'd like to see Breidis and Opetaia again, but I'd love to see Breidis take on a veteran like Masternak to shore up a mandatory shot to give Breidis one last crack at it. But there's also other options that I'd like to see Breidis take in this division that maybe he could get because of his experience, his name, also his age. That might be attractive to some fighters, that he's an older fighter and that they might be able to beat him. I really don't think heavyweight is the right decision for Mairis Breidis, because I never saw him as an effective heavyweight, especially at this age now. I really think he'd probably get beat down. So why take the risk? I really think Breidis is better set competing at 200 pounds and going after a rematch with Opetaia, or a showdown with one of the other champions, setting up something like that. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully Breidis gets back in the mix in 2023. So that's it. That's what I got. That's my number 2 cruiserweight in the world right now, the former 3-time champion Mairis Breidis, as my 2022 year-end top 10s continue. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.